Hello, welcome to the 44th episode of my podcast, Open Conversations. I am your host, Young Bella, and here today to give y'all some, talk about some NBA stuff, um, recent things going on in the NBA, MVP standings, title contenders, share a little bit about my college basketball time, and etc. So, as with further ado, just gonna get right into it. NBA MVP standings. So um, I probably got about three guys to me that are really in my top three players right now that I think are very deserving of the NBA MVP. Um, Playing very well, but I would go in order. First, I gotta go with Shea Gilgeous Alexander. Um, been one of my favorite players over the past, 3 or so years. Been a guy that I consistently over the past couple years been like this. He's really a phenomenal player. He's a guy that um is a generational talent. Um, I think I wasn't too aware of Shea Gilgis. I know he did time in Kentucky, but even then I didn't, you know, wasn't too privy to him. But to see the type of player he's become is amazing, because it wasn't. I don't think most people thought he would be this caliber of player that he is. But I really think Shea's game is a one of one in a lot of ways. I've recently come to um, I would say come to a comparable player in a sense to his game, and I would say Allen Iverson, but um, he's like a taller version of Allen Iverson. He's what AI would be if he was 6'7". I want to say Shea's like 6'6", 6'7". Just his movements, his abilities. You know, AI was a guy who could get to the rim at will. He could dunk on you. He was great mid-range shooter like Shea. He could shoot the three when need be. Very very similar to how Shea is. He had the handle. AI's handles was crazy. Shea's game is crazy. His handles is crazy. So it's very similar, but I think just in terms of their personality is different. I would say their personality is different. Shay's kind of like more of a humble, confident. AI is kind of flashy with it in a sense. He's coming at you full speed at each and every play down the stretch. Shay's a little bit more calmer, chiller with his approach. But that's to me of all the players that if I had to when I evaluate Shay's game, it is very similar to like a Allen Iverson. Just his how he the way he moves and how he plays is very similar to AI. Um, but he's been just killing it. Got the Thunder on a 15-game win streak. Um, Averaging 31 points a game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Um, it's just when you see him on a nightly basis, just dominating. Easy and it's consistent. It's not he's doing it consistently and then he's doing it very efficiently as well. When you look at Shea, um, it's not forced. It's not like when you see him play, it's not like he's somebody who's jacking up shots and playing just kind of out of the flow of the game, playing in a way where it's like, yo, I'm trying to get my 30. Nah, it comes within the flow of the game. It's not forced. It's efficient. It's effective. He's getting guys involved, and I'm a big fan of just his character and personality because, in a lot of ways, I feel like we have similar personalities and characters, and just how we approach things. Um, I really like his demeanor. That like humble confidence about him. That I really, 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 in a lot of ways can relate to, how he is and how he does things. So, yeah, man, I got Shay, man. Shout out to Shay Gilgis, man. I love your game. I love, how you you play, and, you know, major props to you. And then second, I gotta go Nikola Jokic, who's averaging 30, 10, and 10. Um, stats keep getting better. He keeps getting better every year. It's like, you wondering, is it just gonna be like, drop off? He just getting better. He's so super efficient, as usual. And I think that tandem with both him and Westbrook, Russell Westbrook has really found a good fit with this Denver Nuggets team. It's all about fit, situation. Russell Westbrook, one of my favorite players of all time, you know, caught a lot of flack with the two past phenomenal season. I think this Denver Nuggets team, if they can grow in some camaraderie between the group that they have. I know that they kind of battling some injuries, whether it be MPJ, Jamal Murray, and stuff like that. They can get some camaraderie. I think they got a chance to really be a contender team. Then lastly, I got to go with Giannis, the current leader in the NBA in points per game. I think averaged about 33 if we had to round it up. I think specifically about 32.7, but they've kind of, gotten some stride. They won the NBA Cup thing, the NBA Cup. So that's good thing. So yeah, that rounds out my top three for my MVP. I think outside looking at, I got Jay Tatum. He's always having an MVP caliber type of season. I would throw LaMelo in there, but the Hornets not really, they're not winning too much. But LaMelo's having an outstanding season. Should be in San Francisco for that All-Star game. Looking forward to see him there. And so, yeah, I think that's about it for my MVP. Cat too. Throw Cat in there. Cat's been having a really good season as well. So, but NBA Western Conference title contenders. So I got about 5 teams personally that I think really can contend for the championship. One team that I mentioned, I mean, if people want to go back to my previous videos, I said the Houston Rockets. Before I said Houston Rockets. I said Memphis Grizzlies. Look out for them. And you got right now Houston Rockets at number 2, Grizzlies at number 3 in the West. So but I don't think that Houston's not quite ready yet to really be a contending team for the championship. I think they're a competitive team, in in the West, just overall in the league, but I don't think they're NBA, title contending yet. They're gonna get there. I think next year they'll probably be in that pool. But for right now, they got OKC right now, number 1 seed in the West, 15-game win streak. They're playing really well, without Alex Caruso, Chet Holmgren, 2 key players on their team, and they're still balling. They just have a good camaraderie. You see, every post game, it's like 3 or 4 of them, all together in the post game interview, as a group. Just sharing, just talking, speaking to the the interviewers, and it just shows good camaraderie. That's probably one of the key ingredients to being an NBA title team. Having a camaraderie on that team, guys. Supporting one another, being there for one another, type of thing. And then they're just playing really good basketball, playing good on defense. Shea's been balling. Jalen Williams, he should be an all-star this year. Chet was on his way, if not for the injuries. So, OKC, they've gotten more experience. They should be a team that is title contending. Then I gotta go with the Mavs. Luka Doncic. This is the returning NBA team. They went to the finals last year. You still got Luka, got Kyrie. The addition of Klay Thompson, which is going to work very well for them in the playoffs. I think Klay Thompson's a guy who, 4-time NBA champion. He's seasoned for the playoffs. The Mavs got him for, the postseason. His experience in the postseason, and then obviously his 3-point ability. You have guys like that, and then PJ Washington, a really good glue guy that you want on your team. Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, Hardy, Quentin Grimes. These are good, solid players that you want on your team that they got. It's gonna be interesting. They might get Jimmy Butler. We'll see how that works out. That could really, really change things for the Mavs. If they could keep Klay, Kyrie, Luka, and get Jimmy, that'd be something. But Mavs. Then next, I'm gonna go with Golden State Warriors. They they are a team that I think has a lot of depth. They're a deep team. They have, about 7 or 8 guys that they can rotate, which will work well for them in the playoffs. This is a team that is going to be very, very dangerous in the playoffs, man. This Warriors team can make a run. You got obviously Steph Curry, superstar. You got superstar on your team. You still got Draymond Green. You got Andrew Wiggins. Right. You got Buddy Hield. You got Kuminga. the addition of Dennis Schroeder, which I believe is very underrated, but I think is going to work very well for them in the playoffs. And Dennis Schroeder is a very good pickup for that team. You know what I'm saying? Add some versatility, allow Steph to kind of play off the ball at times. Um, Dennis can score too. You got Kyle Anderson. Moses Moody. Um, I think I want to. There's some other, might be somebody else too. That's 8 guys that I just named. You know what I'm saying? Very quality players, and when you get into the postseason, it's all about depth. You know what I'm saying? You got a good depth of players. You got experience. Um, that serves very well in the playoffs. So this Warriors team is very, very good. Um, very good team. Has a lot of experience. Obviously, championship pedigree. So that's a team to definitely be on the lookout for. Then Memphis Grizzlies. That's like the Detroit Pistons of the day and age, the bad boy Detroit Pistons of this day and age, in my opinion. Ja. I know I'm a big fan of Ja Morant. And his game, how he plays, his energy that he comes with every game. He's been playing phenomenal. Um, just leading this group very well. Getting guys involved, getting guys these shots, highlight plays, all of that. Desmond Bain, one of the most underrated, more underrated players in the NBA. He could get a bucket. He could score. He could defend. Desmond Bain is a real problem. He is nice. He is very nice with it. You still got Jaren Jackson. You got Marcus Smart. You got Zach Edey, the rookie who's been playing well. This is a Grizzlies team that can really make some noise in the postseason. They just got to build that camaraderie, which they have been doing very well this year, and just keep competing, keep going at it. This Memphis Grizzly team has a chance to do some things, do some damage this year, in my personal opinion. So that's that team you need to watch out for. And then lastly, Denver Nuggets. Jokic going crazy. Jokic gonna do Jokic things. So, and got Jamal Murray. You got Russell Westbrook, who has found a team that really is complementary to him and his style of play, and they embrace what he does on the court. You got still MPJ. You still got Aaron Gordon. Who can, these guys, vets, right? Experience. You got a good coach in Mike Malone. So this is a team that can, they won a championship 2 years ago. This is not a team that's, completely out of the contention. They still got the pedigree. I really think this is a team, Russell Westbrook can be very, very crucial. He's the X factor for this team in the playoffs. If Russell Westbrook can really ball in the postseason. Jamal Murray can complement, do his thing, ball out as well. You can see 2020 Jamal Murray, bubble Jamal Murray. Oh, it's gonna be challenging. It's gonna be real. It's gonna get real difficult. It's gonna get real hard for guys. So yeah. So yeah, these are the teams. These what 5 teams, top 5 teams. I think have the highest chances for title contention. Very sure it's gonna be between one of these 5 teams that's gonna make it to the Western, to make it to the finals. It's gonna come out the West in the finals, and it's gonna be one of these 2 teams that make it to the Western Conference. I can definitely guarantee that. I can definitely guarantee that one of these 2 teams will be in the NBA Western Conference, and I'll eventually go into the NBA Finals, representing the West. NBA Eastern Conference title contenders. So, yep, I got 5 teams too as well. Um, Starting out with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Um, Donovan Mitchell doing his balling out, doing Donovan Mitchell things. Darius Garland, you know, second, starting that team, playing very well. Those 2 should be all stars. Evan Mobley has been playing very well, stepping his game up, averaging about 18 and 9. I think he'll likely be an all star this year. You got Karis LeVert. You got a good team, that's well coached. Um, you know, they're well coached. They compete. They share the ball. Um, they have some experience, and so yeah, I think this Cleveland Cavaliers team definitely is a team that can contend. Then obviously the defending championships, Boston Celtics. Um, they've been playing very well all year. Um, they've just been been consistent. Um, had some couple bad losses in the season, but they've been playing at a high level throughout the year. Who doesn't have some bad losses, right? But they've been playing at a high level. You already know Jay Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, uh, KP has been. Then that's the one thing. He's been injured, I believe. Um, but yeah, Boston Celtics. They're a contender. New York Knicks. Got to put them in there. Jalen Brunson balling out this year, doing Jalen Brunson things. Then Cat stepped up his game, showing, um, hey, this. You guys traded me. This is what you guys lost. So you got Cat's been balling. You got Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart. Um, so you got a good team, a good team. Um, I think an X factor for them will be the play of Mikal Bridges, how well he can play in the playoffs. I think Jalen Brunson and Cat will play very well. But the question to me is how well can a guy like Mikal Bridges be that third complimentary star to kind of, get them over the hump? Can he be a 20-plus scorer for that Knicks team? And then I forgot AG Anunoby. Anunoby, he's a baller. He's a baller. Um, AJ Anunoby, he's a baller. He had a 40-point game. I forget recent weeks ago, but AJ Anunoby. So they got ballers, man. This next team got ballers. Um, then next I gotta go Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks. Um, they started off the season a little rough, but they've gotten stride, winning the recent NBA Cup. Giannis been balling crazy, Dame balling crazy, kind of getting that camaraderie. I think that's the thing that they've been able to, you know, build in recent time, just building that camaraderie amongst that team. But it's getting taken, in good stride. Can they get hot at the right time? As they say, the season doesn't really start until after All-Star break, right? Can they get hot at the right time? Are they going to be able to, really continue to, you know, keep riding this wave that they're on as the season progresses? They already have, playoff experience, championship pedigree. So I think, the Bucks is a team to definitely um, watch out for. Definitely a team that I believe can contend. And then lastly, the Atlanta Hawks. Um, this is kind of like, a team that's kind of been somewhat flying the radar, but if you've been paying attention, they've been playing very well. Went deep in the NBA Cup playoff. The NBA Cup. Been playing very solid throughout the season. Trae Young's been playing very well as always, as he usually does. Very efficient. Um, Jalen Johnson, guy who's really stepped up. I think he averaged about like 19, 10, and 5. DeAndre Hunter, a guy who's been playing very well. You still got Bogdanovich, a really good shooter. Um, so you got a good team. You got the rookie Zach. Zach, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but the first round pick. Um, so it's a good team. Um, I think that they have a chance. I'm a big believer and fan of Trae Young. Um, he makes plays. He makes things happen. Um, you know, one of the more underrated. I've said this before. Underrated guard. He doesn't get the quote unquote respect that he should be getting. But yeah, Trae Young. Trae Young is a baller. He's a baller, and he's a guy that um I think can make some things happen. It's kind of like a quote unquote underdog or dark horse type team, but hey, Hawks can make some damage. Um, in my personal opinion, they can do some things. You know. So yeah, that concludes my list of Eastern Conference title contenders. These 5 teams I believe will be representing the Eastern Conference and going on to the NBA Finals. So yeah. Walk on season on Michigan State basketball. So I was fortunate enough and to walk on at Michigan State basketball 2012, 2013. Unfortunately, I couldn't play the year before, which was my freshman year, due to the fact I didn't have my physical. Foolish, I didn't have my physical, so I was unable to play on the team my freshman year. But I was fortunate enough to get on my sophomore year, and one of the just greatest times in my life, memorable experiences of my life, one of my personal biggest achievements of my personal life, um, was being on that team. Um, you know, if anybody knew just kind of like my backstory prior to that, um, you know, I didn't make the varsity team at my high school, both junior and senior year. So it's kind of like it should be perceived like, oh, you should give up basketball or something like that. But I stayed committed to it because, I just love the game of basketball. Um, hindsight, looking back, I know like that wasn't a school, like and no disrespect to my high school, because it's debatably the greatest high school basketball sports program in the country. It's a great program, but it just wasn't for me though. Um, just this is just how it just wasn't for me, and that's fine. It was for certain guys. Certain guys went through the program and were very successful. Made it to the NBA, played high level college basketball. Things of that nature. So I'm not gonna disrespect and talk shit. Oh, because nah, I'm not gonna do that. But at the end of the day, it wasn't for me. It wasn't in the fitting of my style, my game. Um, and I was fortunate to find a team that was, and this Michigan State team was. Um, it was a great year. Um, very, very, very time consuming. It was hectic. We would have, at times film in the morning, or not even filming, more walkthroughs in the morning. Then, you know, go to tutor, have a class, come back, have practice for about 2.5 hours. Then I would, this was me. I'm jolly giving y'all my schedule. And my schedule was probably the most busiest and hectic of at that on the team that year of anybody on that team. After that, I would have to go to my chemistry class. Or was it the chemistry, or was it physics? I think it was physics. Yeah, it was physics. Then I would have to come back to the Breslin, which was that's the name of our building for the basketball. Um, and then we would have, you know, film, right? And then maybe we would walk through, So that was my day. I didn't even speak about eating, right? And then homework, and so it was very, it was a lot on my table that year, with both the school, managing my school, my classes and school, and then basketball. Um, I was the point guard for the scout team for on the team, right? So I would be the point guard for the first two teams, right? As they say, the starting group and then the second group, and I was obviously on the third group. And so in practices, we would um, the first two groups would essentially go against my group. I would have to run the plays that the opposing team was gonna run in the actual game type thing. And it was some adjusting, took some adjusting, just learning plays. I had to do it on the fly. Like it was unlike any other situation, because it was very difficult. Like very difficult, because let's say you on the first two teams, right? If you point guard or whatever, you already know the plays that are gonna be run, like the plays that's gonna be ran in the game and all that. You learn that honestly in the summertime, and then continue learning, after the season. Me, I was having to learn this week's team's plays, then the next week's team plays, and the next week's team plays, and the next week's team plays, and you know what I mean. That was the thing, and so it was very difficult. I'm challenging that people want to obviously say like, oh, you know what I'm saying. If you really knew the truth, I know a lot of people like to make judgments and decisions based off the perception of things, like, oh, you're not playing though, or whatever. Like, one, I couldn't play because how am I gonna play if I don't know the team plays? I'm learning. I'm having to learn the other team's plays to, you know. So I couldn't play because I didn't know our own team plays. You know what I'm saying? So that was the thing. Um, but it was difficult, but it was great. I enjoyed the team that was just it was the one team that I enjoyed the team, like the team. It wasn't like I didn't get along with anybody, or that's very key and important, especially in team groups. Whereas you're on a team where the team embraces you, and I felt that was the case there. At my high school program, I didn't feel that way, but I could play with them at that level. I could, but in terms of just the personnel and the care, just guys getting along, I didn't quite mesh with the guys at the program that well. Not, so I have, is it really a issue in? Nah, because even off the court, it'd be like cool, what's up, but it wasn't. I mean, I think I had a better gel with this Michigan State group of guys than I did with that. So that was very important, for anybody out there, understand, that matters a lot. But it was very, very, very great time being a part of blue blood, as they say, basketball program, a pro level kind of ran program, the rich history with all the players that have come from Michigan State. I went, this past was it September or August, we had a basketball reunion. They have it twice a year. I'm going to be going back in next month exactly, because there's another reunion. It's a reunion for the top of the year. We play Oregon, and so yeah. But this past September, or whatever, a lot of the guys from that 2009 NCAA championship team was there. Corey Lucius was there. Chris Allen, Draymond Green, Kalen Lucas, and then some recent guys like Miles Bridges, Jaren Jackson, Mateen Cleaves. One of the the OGs of the OGs of Michigan State was there. So just being around that rich history, greatness, greatness rubs off on you. You around greatness, you feel great. You know what I'm saying? It's infectious. You know what I'm saying? And so I make it an intention to, I try to make at least one of the reunions a year. Last year I went to both, but to just get back to the program and just be around the greatness. You know what I'm saying? Because it rubs off on me, and it helps me out a great deal. And just encouraging all guys, who play on the program at Michigan State, definitely return back to the alumni, programs. It's great to see a lot of guys. You know, it's a great program. So, coming back is dope. You know what I'm saying? Seeing all the people. You know what I'm saying? But uh, the staff, the coaching staff is great. The managers were great. The culture is great. It's a winning culture at Michigan State. Coach Izzo is a great leader of men, young men in general. And so being a part of that is one of the most significant aspects of my life. I definitely am very appreciative to be a part of the Michigan State basketball program and being a part of it. My only regret is that I wasn't able to play and be a part of the program while I was, in my college years enough. Unfortunately, my grades had slipped that the year I was on the team, long story short, I had a chem lab class. I had so we had an in a class part where we had to come in for the labs, and then we had an online part where we had to take certain lessons that we had to do weekly or whatever. And long story short, I learned this after the fact when I got my grade, and this was like when school was done and stuff. So I failed the class. I got a 0 for the class because I didn't finish enough lessons of the online thing. I went to just about all of the in-person labs. I even did some of the lessons. I just didn't do a certain amount. There was a certain amount that you had to do. And if you didn't do this certain amount, you just failed everything. Like it wasn't even like, okay, you get deducted points. You got a complete zero if you just didn't do this certain amount. And because I didn't do this certain amount, I 0 point the class. My GPA completely shot down. And, unfortunately, I had to be off the team because I'm on the team is going to drop the team's GPA. So I couldn't be on the team. And so it took me about 2 years to get my GPA back up. I got it back up, got, Coach Izzo, fortunately, and I'm, thankful and grateful, gave me another shot to get back on the team. I did about 2 or 3 practices or something like that. And then my shoulder, my labrum, I popped my labrum. I had a partially torn labrum that our team doctor, Quentin Sawyer, who's now he's a recent Olympian for the the men's USA team. He was on I believe the team doctor for that team, and now he's at one of the team doctors for the Charlotte Hornets. But he was he said I needed to get surgery, and that was it for the year. And that was it. That's pretty much caps off my situation, at Michigan State, with in terms of the basketball. And it's unfortunate I didn't get the development that, most guys get, you know what I mean? Playing some years, learning, being able to, because coming up that season, that summer was all about learning the plays, and then, coming into the season, knowing the plays to now I can actually play now. You know what I mean? Because I know the plays, and just getting that development, getting that experience, and I know for a fact things. If I been fortunate to get that, I think things would have be a lot different. Um, I think I could have definitely had a shot to play pro in the NBA, and have maybe some opportunities overseas or something like that. But obviously my main goal is to play in the NBA. But that's my only regret. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, things happen for a reason. I learned from all of that. I learned from all of my experiences, good and bad. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. Um, you know, I think, like I said, everything happened for a reason. I'm in a pretty good situation now, and just kind of improving on that, growing my brands that I've started. Um, so, I think learning from those situations is what's led me to where I'm at with the businesses and stuff like that. And trying to, you know, take the lessons I learned from those experiences and situations and then applying it to what I'm doing currently. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the thing, but I'm just thankful to be a part of such a rich and great program like Michigan State basketball, man. I'm so thankful and I'm grateful. I I told Chris Allen at the tailgate, that team that they was on is the reason why I wanted to go to Michigan State. I watched their Final Four run that year, and this is in high school. I had no kind of anything as it pertains to Michigan State, but I watched that Final Four run when they went to national championships, and unfortunately lost to UNC. Ty Lawson team. I was like, yo, I want to play at Michigan State. If Michigan State was like, yo, we want to give you an opportunity to play on our team, I was like, yo, I want to go to Michigan State. I said that then, like, it was really a mental note. I didn't really actually say it. It was just like in my mind. I might have said it, but I know for sure I said it in my mind, like, this is a school I will want to go to, you know. Um, and you know, isn't it crazy how, life can work? You can end up at your dream school, you know what I'm saying, and playing, and that that whole even that 1 year on the team was so surreal for me. It was really surreal. I don't think people understood it. One, considering some of the situations, like I said, getting cut twice, and then to get at Michigan State basketball. It was so surreal. So many guys from that high school program, high school, was surprised I was even, like there. I had guys from there so surprised, like, that I was on the team at Michigan State. You know what I'm saying? Um, so, uh, because they didn't think that, obviously getting cut, didn't think I was a good player. But no, I think they knew I was good. It just, like I said, it was just like I think, like I said, a lot of times it just be personalities not really fit. I didn't really have good relationships personally with a lot of the players at my high school program and stuff like that. And I think that was really the main reason why I was on that team. It wasn't about whether I could play or not, because that just wasn't the case. Even then, I was getting scoring buckets, doing all that at then. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them will say otherwise, and that's cool, but I was getting buckets even the times when I got my opportunities to play, when they try, I was giving them buckets, but uh you know but even then I always say that was what they prepped me. They prepped me for that level. Like I said, I learned from everything, you know what I'm saying? That being at my high school program, going through what I went through, prepped me for that level. You know what I'm saying? That was what was preparing me for the next level. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the guys on that team, the Michigan State team that I was on. It's some great guys. That team actually had the most guys from Michigan State history program, had the most guys on one team to make it to the NBA. You had Brandon Dawson, Keith Applin, Adrian Payne, Gary Harris, and Denzel Valentine. All five guys went to the NBA and did some time there. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to all the other guys on the team, the management, the coaching staff. Shout out to everybody. Much love to y'all, man. Hopefully I can see y'all in the next couple weeks at the reunion. And yeah. What it's like working with me. So, like I said, I have different brands and businesses and stuff like that. I have 2 clothing brands. Obviously, this podcast, something I own as well. And I'm just, trying to grow and grow more and more as a tycoon / entrepreneur. But I like to say I don't consider myself a boss. I consider myself a leader. I think that my approach is more so people working with me. We only work we only work for God. You know what I'm saying? Because we're on God's time. God is ultimately who's in control of the time we have on this planet. And so we work for God. And so whether we know it or not, even people who don't believe in God, I know I came up with this conclusion recently, like a person's belief has a far greater impact in terms of their reality than the truth. A person can believe a thing, and despite what you tell them the truth may be, if that's what they believe, their reality is going to reflect that belief and not the truth you're telling them. But nonetheless, the truth at the end of things always showcase itself, and that's how things end up being. That's the direction things turn out to be, right? But nonetheless, we all work for God, and the people that I work with it's about working with me. Um, who I work with my brand and stuff, they work with me. They don't work for me. Right? They don't work for me. They work with me, and I work with them, and that's my direction of how I do things. You're gonna be treated respectfully. I want to be treated respectfully as well. Um, and you know, it's all about us adding value to each other, doing things that can be beneficial for each other, working as a team, working as a group, having camaraderie, building rapport, um, because these things play big factors in the health of the relationships and consistency, right? So these are the type of things that when you're working with me is the thing, you know what I'm saying? Trust your word, you know what I mean? I'm big on your word. I know the popular thing is actions speak louder than words and all this other stuff, but your word is your bond. Your word is, you know, what you gotta lean on. You know what I'm saying? They say even in the Bible, the people's life is in their tongues. The tongue can determine the life and death of somebody, right? So I know a lot of people like to lie, do the actions, and when you lie, now you want to say actions speak louder than words. All right, that's what people do. They lie and then say, "Oh, actions speak louder than words." Um, but you know, we gotta be on the same page. Reason why, people's I'm so imperative on people's words is, one, I know that um people like to manipulate and do all type of stuff when it comes to people, words and stuff like that. Say one thing, do another. So I'm very keen on that. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to be somebody who, when you say something, you do exactly what you say? That's the type of person I am. And so, I think it can be a bit challenging, a lot of times when it comes to people, when it comes to what's said, and then people not following up with it. Please, if you want to work with me, mean what you say, you know, do what you mean, don't disconnect the two. Don't have me out here confused and, thinking make this, that, and the third. Like, nah, I don't do that because I'm not with that manipulative and mind game type thing. I say this, I'm gonna do that. If I say I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna show up. If I say if I'm a, that's what it is. And so that's one of the main things for me. And then time. Time is the most valuable asset we all have. And I don't do very well with very late responses. I'm the type of person that communicates very instantaneously. If I'm around my phone, you know what I'm saying? If I'm around my phone, I will get back to you ASAP. Like, period. I don't do I'm gonna wait this to try and play like I'm busy or whatever type game thing. A lot of people like to do. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not by my phone, if you don't hear back from me for whatever, I'm not by my phone. I don't just be by my phone and then people texting me or people saying stuff and I just try to play this busy game, because I know that's that's a cool thing. That's the cool thing that people like to do. You know what I'm saying? They like to play the cool busy game and stuff like that. I don't do well with that. We will not be able to work well with that type of style. We need to be able to communicate effectively in a good amount of time, because like I said, time's our most valuable asset. You're not gonna keep me just in some hanging loop for hours and if not days, and for some, I text you some basic, some that deserves a quick yes or no response, and then it takes you 2 days to respond. Like, that's not gonna, it's not gonna work with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of style just doesn't work, where, going completely ghost and aloof. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't work well with me. You know what I'm saying? So, but nonetheless, I'm a type of person that gonna allow you to be you. I'm not gonna force you to be anything outside of who you are. I'm gonna try to cater to who you are and your strengths and your abilities and things of that nature. And I'm gonna want the best. I'm gonna have the best intentions for you. Um, I'm gonna have the best intentions for you. Because to me, that's true love. You know what I'm saying? When you're well intended. Um, and so that's just a little something as it pertains to working with me. Very, laid back, chill person. So if you have a hard time working with me, man, you just really got some, I'm gonna be honest, you got some issues you need to address in your life, man, because I'm not a hard person to work with. Very easy guy to work with, not challenging type of guy. Um, like I said, I deserve to be respected and appreciated and stuff like that. I'm not gonna allow people to run over me or something like that. But very person, easygoing person to work with, man. So but yeah, that's what it's like. I want, I'm all interested, and people out there, if you want to work with me, um, with my brands, specifically now my two clothing brands, Fit and No Labels. Whether you're, whatever expertise that you have, talent that you can contribute, reach out to me via DM, email, whatever medium it is to communicate. Reach out to me and inform me on what you do and all of that, and we can go from there, man. So yeah, appreciate it. So yeah, that concludes the 44th episode of my podcast. Thank y'all for listening and watching, and looking forward to seeing y'all next time.